of the things that I talked about were the forces that are impacting the 21st century workplace, how the world is being turned on its end, actually, and there's so many things that are confusing, not the way they used to be, and are challenging the existing paradigms that we have. And what are the 10 factors that are really going to have to be considered in the workforce going forward? And I went through those 10 factors. I'll quickly touch them. Purpose, bias, inclusion, demographics, values, organizational structure, among other things. And then I talked about what does HR have to do? And I think HR has to look at what is their purpose and how are we going to continue to add value in a very changing, very influx work environment. How are we going to create stability? How are we going to create a sense of direction and purpose for people, including ourselves? And what are the policies and procedures that we're going to have to look at that are not helping the organization go forward and that have to change? And finally, really helping people live their dreams. Because after all, we spend an awful lot of time at work, and what people really want to do is to be able to contribute, be able to do what they never dreamed possible to do. And it's our responsibility, I think, to help nurture that. Well, command and control leadership is over. Bureaucratic leadership is over. Self-centered leadership, it's all about me, is over. The leadership of the future. And by the way, command and control is alive and well, and it's the default leadership style around the world, actually. But the really successful leaders, the real leaders who have created tremendous innovation, the real leaders who have moved companies forward, are the leaders who really have a sense of heart, who are compassionate about their people, who help people achieve their aspirations, who care about the good that their companies do, who are very perceptive about how people are reacting to them, have empathy. They are people who are pragmatic. They understand their own personal values, but they're willing to flex to other people's values. They understand that not everything around the world is done the way it's done in their own home country. They're willing to accept other choices. That flexibility, that openness, that ability to collaborate, that sense of really taking care of others is going to be the hallmark of leadership of the 21st century. Even though I was here briefly for this event, I've been to Dubai a number of times. And I happened to look at the Change Board magazine, that you did, great magazine, by the way. I would really recommend it to anybody. Great stories in there about this particular region. Also, I looked at some of the other conferences that are coming up. You're bringing in wonderful thought leaders. So my big takeaway about this region is this region is about innovation. This region has a purpose and a view of the role it wants to play in the rest of the world, to be a hub, to be a center, to be a crossroads of thinking and of future creativity. And I think they're really doing that. And my biggest message and takeaway, take the good things from the industrial era. Take the good things that really advanced people, and don't perpetuate the legacy stuff that's didn't add value and will probably never add value. You have a real chance to be an example, a role model for the future, and I hope you take it.